Wall I starts on the wall. Easiest way to get into any wall position is to bring the hips all the way to the wall and then rotating onto the back, extending the legs up the wall here. Let's begin to come into figure four position or wall I. I'll take the right ankle over the left thigh, and you can bring the right ankle even a little further over to the left, just so that the bony part of the ankle is pressing into the top of the left thigh. A couple of things here, we want to make sure that the hips stay grounded. So if you notice that whoever is here and has their hips up off the ground, or it hurts their low back to even come into just your regular legs up the wall, you can instruct them to take either a folded up blanket or if you have one of those skinny bolsters, you can also elevate the hips here. Add a nice little cushion too, even if you don't necessarily need it. So options here, you can stay here, leg extended up the wall. You can also bring the right hand to the right knee, press the right knee away. Or also option to begin to bend into the left knee. So bring the left sole of the foot into the ground. So what may happen here is the hips may start to come up off of the ground, and in that case you can use the support underneath. And sometimes it just happens because we're too close to the wall and we're trying to bring the legs closer in towards the chest. So you can scoot yourself away from the wall, just so you can commit either way. Planted foot down into the ground or leg extended up towards the ceiling. Remember to keep the toes flexed while we're here, just to protect the right knee. And holding for time. You can instruct any placement of the hands. Some people like to rest them onto the chest. You can extend the arms out, a little bit of a chest opener. You can also support the head with a blanket underneath it as well. After you are ready to come out of the posture, if you have the bent knee, starting to extend the leg up the wall, and uncrossing the legs, bringing both legs down to the ground. So if you happen to bring the hips a little further away from the wall here, begin to bring the hips just a little bit closer in. There's no real graceful way to do that other than kind of scooting yourself back. A nice counter pose to wall I is wall arch. So placing the palms down into the ground next to the hips. And beginning to bring the soles of the feet down into the ground. We're going to lift the hips up, so it's okay if the hips already start to come up. But when you're ready, taking your breath in and then on an exhale, lifting the hips up. Kind of like a supported shoulder stand. Trying to keep the gaze just directly forward, and also option to extend the legs here. So you get a full extension through the front side of the hips. You get an option to place the hands underneath the back just to support. Or feel free to give that responsibility to the legs. So slowly round the spine as you are ready to come down. Very lightly land the hips down into the ground. Another option is to hug the knees into the chest and come into a wall twist, dropping the knees over to one side. Or you can simply windshield wiper the shins from side to side.